Hello, Internet. Come on in and join the NerdChat. I hope that you're all doing well and staying safe and ready for a little bit more Astonishing Spider-Man Wolverine. So, the last time we left off our unlikely duo, they were stuck traveling through time. They got sent back to, the era of dinosaurs and asteroids to wipe out said dinosaurs because of a bank heist they were trying to prevent, and some glowing diamonds transported them through time. They don't know what transported them. They don't know that these diamonds are the cause, but we as the reader are aware. But now, when we begin with this issue, Spider-Man is back in costume and he's teaching a high school science class. So you'll remember that last time they got moved to further into the future, and all of these folk that Wolverine was living with, they now seem to inhabit the Earth, whether there were some human hybrids or it's just them. And we'll find out a little bit more about them in a bit, but he's teaching these folk kids about gravity, and he thinks to himself how no matter how bad his life has gotten, he's always found a way to make a laugh out of it. As he's watched these students head home for the day, he looks out into the world that is completely devastated, and he promises that the laughs will come later. With class dismissed, Peter goes into a back room to talk to a new friend that he made. I think it's Michael, how it's pronounced. It's Mikal. So I'm not sure. But anyway, so Michael is trying to make all these old supervillain doomsday devices work, and all these incredibly powerful objects. Nothing's working. So they even have the cosmic cube, and it's just off. There's no light coming from it. Not even the cosmic cube will work. So, and if you don't know, the Cosmic Cube is not the Tesseract. It's like a cube that can rewrite reality. So yeah, they're trying to find a way to make literally anything work because of some threat that's apparently coming. All the tech and weapons from Peter's time have been gathered up, but he feels useless because he can't make anything work, and he's worrying about some threat that he doesn't explain to us, the readers, yet. So Spider-Man starts swinging through the city, and he mentions how the folk have, their word's getting out that something's happening. They're going to spend time with their families, and the more that this draws near, the more time, the more of them are just going to forget about their responsibilities and just go and spend time with their loved ones. So we start to learn a little bit more about what this world is. So it turns out that it is actually our world. And Peter has been swinging through what literally was, the same New York City that he once lived in. And he was even able to get a costume because he found a wax museum, and he took a costume from the world's lamest heroes display. And because of that, it has lame written on the butt of his costume. But he was also able to make some new web shooters, so Spider-Man's back in action, even with a little bit of lame on his butt. But he heads over to Logan to let him know that he is not finding a way to stop what's coming. So as he gets there, we see that there's a sign that says, "No trespassing, violators will be stabbed repeatedly," and then another sign added on that says, "This means you, Parker." As many people are starting to gather, or have been gathering outside of Logan's sanctuary, and they're praying to him to save them. And so Wolverine inside, he's tearing through robots. He made a makeshift danger room, and Peter shows up, and Logan asks if it will ever leave him alone. And Logan says he heard the alarms, he knows why he's here, and Spidey says that's good, and he knows how this goes. Peter warns Logan about the end of the world. Logan is in no way rude about it, and then they all make nice and have a sleepover. So Logan guesses Peter hasn't found a weapon, otherwise he wouldn't be here. But they're going to need a lot more than, some adamantium claws to stop what's coming. But we now learn, this is when we learn the rest of what the world is. So something happened to wipe out humanity, and doesn't tell us that yet. But what we learn is that after humanity was gone, the folk survived. They've been just living in the shadows as they were taught by Logan, waiting to take the Earth. So now that humanity has died out and they've taken over, and suddenly Logan has returned, they think of him as some sort of messiah. They don't understand that he just traveled through time. They think that he is a chosen one kind of a thing. But, so Wolverine's getting annoyed with Peter, and Wolverine just starts up the training thing again, And Spider-Man stays to fight, asking if he hates himself or, or if he hates Spider-Man or if he really just hates himself. And then Peter asks if he's like the brother that Logan never had. Logan says he had a brother, and that brother tried to kill him. And Peter says he's not surprised, because he's the only other human left on Earth, and he thinks about killing Logan every day. So, Spidey says he's going to leave, and he's going to do something that isn't a complete waste of time. Also, before Peter goes, Logan tells Peter that there was someone that, before they time traveled here, remember at the end of the last issue, there was something that Logan saw and was fighting, and he finally tells Peter about it, which apparently he hadn't told him about yet. So he knows he knows someone's watching them, and Logan has been going out every night. Oh, sorry, burped. Logan's been going out every night to try and find whoever it is that is out there, and he knows that someone's still watching. Spider-Man says that's not what is important right now. Maybe they are being watched, but these people need hope, and Logan, you need to talk to them. But Peter gets it. He knows it's easier to kill than inspire. What a legacy the Wolverine will leave. Logan tries to say it's not that, and he asks Peter if he'll stay and have a drink with him, only to turn and see that Peter already left. So Spider-Man is swinging back home, venting about Logan, wondering about this mysterious woman once again. He tries to open the door to the back room, only to get a laser blast through it, revealing the orb! He's back, and he has seen some things since he was last here. So the orb is rambling on, asking where something is, and Peter's incredibly lost. So apparently, he's been traveling through time. The orb has been traveling through time to hide from someone, but he doesn't say who, and he needs a better fuel source. He needs the diamonds. And Peter remembers the diamonds from the bank, but has no idea where they are, and he didn't even know what they could do. So the orb screams that the Minutemen are coming, and Spider-Man deserves everything that's going to happen to him as he's trying to stab down on Peter. But then a hand comes out of some portal, and it pulls the orb inside. And before Peter can even process all of that, an emergency call comes in. Now we go underground with a crew of folk and Peter in a hard hat and a Spider-Man outfit, and they discover something important. They're underground and they see the symbol for the X-Men. They excitedly move forward, and what they found, so they said that what they found burst into flames, but the fire was cold as ice. And as Peter rounds the corner, what he sees is a briefcase with the emblem of the Phoenix on it. Peter opens it, and we don't see what's inside yet, but he opens it and he sees, even just seeing that symbol is enough to make his blood run cold. And now that he found something to save them, but to use it, someone is going to have to die. But time is running short, the threat is here. Spider-Man looks up to see what he once knew as a man, Victor Von Doom. Apparently, in the final days of humanity, and also just Doom's final days, where his body was running to its end naturally because he is only a mortal man, he decided to transfer his consciousness into the only thing big enough to hold his ego. Doom became the living planet, and doing this wiped humanity from the Earth because it took so much power to do so. But now he's back, and he releases the Heralds of Doom. So Peter tries to build himself up, knowing what he has to do. He heads back to his lab, talks about how powerful the Phoenix Force is, and he doesn't know who, but at some point in the past, cast this incredibly powerful cosmic force into a single bullet. One shot with the power to kill a planet. Seems easy, too easy, and that's because it is. Firing this gun will tear the person to shreds. It'll scatter their atoms. So you get one shot, it'll destroy the planet, but you're also going to be irrecoverably obliterated. But Spider-Man says no one lives forever. However, it sure would have been nice to try. However, so Peter's having an issue, which one, he's not really familiar with guns. He's fired a gun in his life, but he doesn't remember the last time that he did. And because this power is so overwhelming and obviously so dangerous at the thought of pulling the trigger, Spider-Man's spider sense is raging, and it's making it a little hard for him to focus. So he thinks, maybe he's not the best person for this. But before he can even finish the thought, he gets knocked out. As Wolverine picks up the gun, he says, "No offense, Parker, but if someone's going to shoot something even as big as a planet, it probably ought to be him." So Wolverine starts walking off, saying Peter can sit this one out. Jeannie and him got this. Off to the side, there are two figures watching Logan walk away. they talk about how it was funny at first, but now all these two heroes do is bicker with each other, and it's getting boring to watch. The other reminds them that the boss is paying them really good money, and they always deliver. Well, we don't get a good look at them. We can see that they are bedazzled out with the diamonds from the bank, these time travel diamonds that we've been seeing. So the big dude says he's just ready to make he's just ready for these heroes to die, and he just may have to make that happen himself. And that is where the comic ends. So yeah, the next issue, we're gonna see how Wolverine handles such a remarkable gun. And the next bit of time travel is absolutely hilarious, because they start to time travel, but separately, but they each time travel into different points in each other's lives and have to deal with like younger versions of each other. And this comic just gets better and better. I really love it. It's really funny, and I can't do a lot of the humor justice in doing a breakdown like this, because otherwise I just have to straight up redo the comic. So I highly encourage reading these comics as well as seeing these videos. So that's all I got for you guys today. You can check my description below if you want to join my Discord and talk to me about whatever videos you might want to recommend. If there's a story that you want to see, or if you just want to talk to me about comics or video games or whatever, you're welcome to do that. You can also follow me on Twitch at JediJosh_NC. There'll be links for these either in the description below or on screen, so you can check those out. Also, if you haven't seen the last video of I'm going to be doing these highlight videos from my Twitch stuff as well. I'm posting them on this channel and hopefully weekly, so feel free to check those out as well. But that's all I got for today. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope you come back for the next one, and I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye.